Hi there, it's Esther Herbert. I'm in for another video visit. I'm so glad that you joined me today. I want to talk about something really serious because it was a serious experience for me, and it was something that led to my proper diagnosis of bipolar. I believe it's important to talk about these things because I want, first of all, for you to see the real story, real me, be authentic, be vulnerable. And I want to encourage you that if you haven't shared your story, to do the same. Also, you might not have a dramatic story like this, and it doesn't matter. We need to have no shame in talking about our stories because stigma has to come down. And the only way it does that is by chatting about our mental illnesses, our diagnosis, our medication. In this visit, I want to talk about what happened to me way back in April of 2000. It was really a defining moment in my life, and it's something that I hope that you will glean some, vital, important things that you can apply to your own life through. This story happened in the week of April 7th of 2000. I had procured a great job. I absolutely loved it. I was independent. I ran my own department. I was head of fossil repair at my work in Richmond Hill, Ontario, for those of you out of state. And I wanted to let you know that that week was strange. I would be going into the bathroom and cleaning things. Didn't know why. I knew I stopped when other people came in, so on some level I thought it was an odd experience, but I would start that on like the Monday, and by the time it got to Friday, I was going in intermittently throughout the day. It was a big experience for me. I was washing the walls, the cabinets, the counters. I was using toilet water, and when people came in, I stopped, and I thought to myself, not a whole lot. I just was going through that and going back to my office and working. It was very, very strange. So then it culminated in me walking up a short way to my boss's office. She wasn't there. I went in, I shut the door, I locked the door, I sat behind her desk, I put my feet up on her desk. I thought, wow, I am boss for the day. It was very exciting, but I didn't know what was going on. A complete break of reality. People eventually were pounding on the door, calling, wanting to get in. I would completely ignore that. I would answer the phone and just say, hey, I'm Kathy. How can I help you? And I was completely lost. I didn't know where I was, what I was doing, and it just perpetuated throughout a long period of time. They finally had to call the authorities, the police, the ambulance, fire truck. They all came to my work. They broke down the door because I wouldn't answer it. They handcuffed me. They led me down the long hall to the entrance of the building, and I was looking at an ambulance, and I thought to myself, oh, what is that? I got in the ambulance. I thought, oh my, I'm off to meet the Queen. I was so excited. And here I was handcuffed in the back of an ambulance going to Markham Stouffville Hospital. Didn't have any idea what was going on. So I got there. I needed, I won't tell you how many because I don't honestly know, but I needed sedative after sedative. I was so high. The very next day, I met Dr. Mark Berber, and he diagnosed me with bipolar. First time in my entire life that I was properly diagnosed in the year 2000, 19 years ago, and I'm 55 years old. So it was an absolute thrill because to know what you have, and then you can get help, you can get medication. I was hospitalized for 2 weeks, and then I was in a 6-week outpatient program called Bridges there at the hospital, and that was the beginning of the road to recovery. I was so fortunate and so glad that I had this really dramatic, defining moment, because who knows where I would be today if I didn't get properly diagnosed. I would be stubborn and recalcitrant and say, I'm fine, everything's good, it's just my personality. If anybody would even intimate they thought something was off. So because of such a dramatic experience, I got the help that I needed. Now, granted, I didn't talk about bipolar for 17 years after that with the public. The close inner circle of friends and family, that was it. So in 2017, I started talking about it at Markham Stouffville Hospital at a mental health day that they have in October. And to me, that was the biggest thrill to talk about it and get it out in the open. I felt free. I felt like I could help people. I felt that the stigma was breaking around me. And I've been talking about it every day since, in some form or fashion, whether I'm at the mall, I'm at the grocery store, I'm at the gas station, I'm at work. I am mentioning mental health, and it's amazing how people respond. They know of someone going through a rough time. They themselves are going through a rough time, and they're so excited to talk about it, as I was, because you break through and you have such a freeing experience. I want that for you if you are not yet there. I know it can happen, and I hope you've learned a little something about me and what I've been through and how I've recovered and how I'm a high-functioning person in society today because of knowing what I have, getting the medication, the help, therapy, and going through all the steps that make you well. Thank you for joining me today. Check out my YouTube channel page. At the very far right hand side, you'll see an About tab. At the very bottom, you'll see my contact information. I'd love to come and talk to your group, your church, your community gathering, even one-on-one. If you want to contact me, there's my contact information. Happy to talk to you. Thank you so much for joining me. I pray that you have a good week. God bless.